USCIS confirms major movement in I-130s. USCIS just flipped the switch, I-130 backlog breaking in 2025. For years, families have waited, stuck in silence, separated by oceans, paperwork, and a system that didn't care how many birthdays or holidays they missed. Spouses grew apart, children aged without parents, parents passed without seeing their kids one last time, all because a single form, the I-130, sat buried, untouched. But now, in September 2025, something has finally shifted. USCIS has just confirmed what millions have been begging for. The I-130 backlog is finally moving, and fast. Why I-130 matters, and why it stops everything. Form I-130 is the cornerstone of family-based immigration. It legally establishes the relationship between a U.S. citizen or green card holder and their spouse, child, or parent abroad. Without approval of this form, nothing else can move forward. There's no green card application, no embassy interview, no chance of starting a life together in the United States. If this form stalls, so does your future. Every error, every backlog, and every delay leaves your family suspended in uncertainty, with no timeline, no resolution, and no comfort whatsoever. The shift, what's changing in September 2025? Let's talk numbers. USCIS data from this month shows real improvements for immediate relative petitions, the category that includes spouses, minor children, and parents of U.S. citizens. For these applicants, there is no annual visa cap, so once your I-130 is approved, the process can continue immediately, and that's where the good news really begins. Petitions filed abroad are now averaging 14.5 months. That's a dramatic drop from nearly 24 months in 2024, and the improvement is being felt across embassies. Cases filed within the U.S., fastest we've seen in years. For families already in the U.S. and filing concurrently with Form I-485, timelines are now averaging just 8.2 months. That's the fastest pace seen in over 5 years. This timeline applies to U.S. citizens sponsoring their spouse or child from within the U.S., and it makes a major difference. Some families may now be reunited in under 1 year. That's not just paperwork moving, that's lives changing. That's children seeing their parent at the school play. That's couples sharing holidays for the first time in years. Parents of U.S. citizens, quiet but meaningful gains. Parent petitions have always been eligible under the immediate relative category, but historically, they've moved slower due to sheer application volume and age verification procedures. Now, we're seeing those approvals moving faster too. In September 2025, the average timeline for parent I-130 petitions filed from abroad is 14 to 15 months. For many elderly parents, that's the difference between attending a grandchild's wedding or being present at the birth of a great-grandchild. Every month counts when time is limited. Preference categories, still a long, cold wait ahead. If you're not in the immediate relative category, the picture is much less encouraging. That includes adult children, married kids, and siblings of U.S. citizens. These cases fall under family preference categories, which are subject to strict annual visa caps. That cap hasn't changed in decades, and it's created a years-long backlog. As of today, adult sons and daughters of U.S. citizens face waits of 7 to 10 years. Married children can expect similar delays, depending on their country of origin. Siblings from Mexico and Philippines, decades in line. For siblings of U.S. citizens, especially those from Mexico or the Philippines, the backlog is among the worst in the system. Wait times can exceed 20 years in many cases. This doesn't even include I-130 processing time. That alone can still take 2 to 3 years, especially if USCIS slows cases because visa numbers won't be available anytime soon. Unfortunately, USCIS often delays these categories intentionally. There's no point approving a petition quickly if the visa can't be issued for another decade or two anyway. Green card holders, still a multi-year journey. If you're a lawful permanent resident, you're allowed to sponsor your spouse and unmarried children under 21, categorized under the F2A preference group. As of September 2025, F2A petitions are taking about 35 months, or just under 3 years. That's down from over 40 months last year, but still painfully slow. And many forget this critical detail: green card holders cannot sponsor their parents. That immigration benefit is only available to naturalized U.S. citizens. What slows cases down, and how to avoid it? Several hidden factors can delay your I-130 petition, even if you're in a faster category. Some of them are avoidable. Some, sadly, are not within your control. First is the USCIS Service Center. Some move faster than others, depending on staffing levels and regional case volume. You don't get to choose your center, unfortunately. Second, a rise in application volume or a change in policy can slow down all cases. These surges happen when large communities rush to file after policy announcements. Paperwork errors, avoidable mistakes with major consequences. One of the most common reasons for delays is incomplete or incorrect paperwork. A missing signature, wrong name spelling, or inconsistent address can trigger a request for evidence. That RFE can delay your case by 3 to 6 months, even longer if you don't respond correctly. And some petitions are outright denied due to minor form issues. In preference categories, your priority date controls everything. Even after approval, you must wait for that date to become current in the monthly visa bulletin. Immigration costs in 2025, what you'll pay today. Let's talk numbers. Filing Form I-130 will still cost $675. That's your starting point and must be paid whether you're filing from inside or outside the US. If you're adjusting status inside the US, expect to pay $1,440. For consular processing abroad, you'll need $1,445, plus another $1,220 for green card issuance. Biometrics add $85. And if you're using a lawyer, total costs can reach between $2,000 and $5,000, depending on how complex your family's immigration path is. Strategy for families: act now, don't wait. If you're preparing to file or already in the system, now is the time to act smart. Mistakes will set you back. Accuracy and timing will push you forward. Step 1. Track the average processing time at your USCIS service center. You can check this online using your receipt number and location. Step 2. Review every form multiple times. Don't assume your preparer or lawyer got it right. One error can cost you months of progress and thousands of dollars in delay. Concurrent filing, an overlooked advantage for some. If your spouse is already in the US and you're a citizen, consider concurrent filing. That means submitting Form I-130 and I-485 at the same time. This cuts months off your timeline, sometimes even years, but not everyone qualifies. Check eligibility first and be sure the applicant has a lawful entry record. Also, watch the visa bulletin every month. For those in preference categories, your entire weight hinges on that little chart. When your date is current, file fast. Push your attorney, your family deserves urgency. If you've hired a lawyer, don't assume they're working efficiently. Stay involved, ask for updates, and push for timely filings. Nobody will care more than you will. Some attorneys file in batches, delay communication, or miss small things that cause massive headaches later. The faster you push them, the faster your family reunites. You're not being difficult, you're being smart, because a single phone call or correction can sometimes mean the difference between 1 year or 5. For families, this news means something deeper. This update isn't just about USCIS stats. It's about the people who've waited in pain, made sacrifices, and lived in separation with no clear answers for years. Couples who've missed every holiday together. Parents who haven't hugged their child in over a decade. Kids who've never shared a birthday with their real family around them. This change? It's more than a processing shift. It's a symbol of possibility. That even in a slow, broken system, hope isn't dead, not yet. Wrap up, a window of opportunity opens. If you're a US citizen sponsoring a spouse, child, or parent, your timeline is improving. This could be the most favorable window we've seen in nearly a decade. If you're in the preference system, the wait remains long. But we're seeing signs of movement. That's more than we could say a year ago. For green card holders, it's still a grind. But the downward trend in processing times gives reason to stay optimistic and keep filing. Delays are shrinking, step by step. Stay informed, stay sharp, and don't stop believing that your case matters. Because finally, something's moving. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.